Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jordan Fisher.
I'm Tim Hatman.
I'm Cypher PK, and this is the May Contain
Action podcast.
Available on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and more.
Welcome to the May Contain Action podcast, the world's #1 gaming and content creation podcast that is specifically hosted by a Major League Baseball player and also a headphone model. Support for the May Contain Action podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. I am host number 2. I am back from my hiatus from whatever the hell I was doing. We're not talking about that right now, but I'm back now. Only 2. I'm here. I'm host number 2. Host number 1 is also here, Paul, who is taking a break from a vacation, drove back across the country. In one day, just to drive back across the country to Yellowstone, right? You're in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
To be here for the podcast because he's that dedicated, and I was gone. Doing whatever. We don't even know what it is.
I mean, Trevor was riding the pine at a Twins game, and he couldn't make the podcast. I drove day and night to get back here for the pod, but it's whatever. Just so I wouldn't miss an episode.
Whatever.
Totally
no one's
fine.
keeping a score in this relationship very clearly.
Definitely not.
Today we're joined by a very special guest, our favorite Canadian storyteller and the famous Kiki from No Pixel on GTA. MiltonTPike1 is here!
Hello there. Hello, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, and everybody between. Hello, hi, how are you? What a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. My God. I mean, you're welcome.
Conan O'Brien walking up.
It is, the only thing that I feel sort of a little bit insecure about is that I am easily the least good-looking person of all of us here. It's kind of upsetting, you know what I mean?
Oh,
He is a headphone model, so.
It is true.
I'm like extremely attractive.
He's really proud.
That's it's just something to aspire to. I just wake up every day and tell myself, tomorrow I will be a little bit less ugly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
And then you order like a chalupa, and you're like,
I'm doing this again. I'm like, man, it's my 3rd day in a row getting a Cinnabon, but here we are.
How close do you live to a Cinnabon?
You know what? Truth be told, I've only ever had them in the airport, but as soon as I gotta have like 2 back to back, no matter what airport I'm in. I don't even know if we have them in Canada, but man, if I have a Cinnabon, that is going in my body somehow.
Wow. I learned a lot. Just then, I didn't know that you were from Canada. That's actually wild.
Oh, really?
I did not know that.
Oh my goodness! Yes, I am
Canadian.
I am indeed. Yeah, I'm a British Columbia boy now living in Ontario.
Normally, I would say I'm so sorry to hear that, but honestly, Canada didn't sound so bad.
Canada not so bad. Everything in the middle of Canada,
so bad.
It's Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Just give that a pass.
Isn't it? I think that you are the exact opposite because we had Geeksay on here.
Okay,
and he is from Ontario, but now lives in BC.
Oh, okay. Well, you see,
yeah.
I thought you were going to say that it was someone from the prairies, in which case I was going to say, well, that's shows you have absolutely no standard for the types of people that you have on your podcast. If you have anyone from the prairies on here, that's yeah.
What's the prairies? Is that like a TV show?
Middle. Yeah, it's literally the middle. It should just be. I just think that Canada should just pave over Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, turn them into a Tim Hortons and a parking lot, and then just highways to take you from the actual good parts of the country to the other good parts of the country.
What?
I love this.
Dude, I don't know.
Quintessentially American, to be honest, to hate the middle of the country.
Yeah. Oh, very true. Very true. They suck, though. Let's be honest. I mean, talk about Nebraska. You know what I mean?
I was just in Kansas City, like, why?
Absolute trash. I mean, someone like... What could Nebraska possibly produce that's of any worth? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Not Warren Buffett.
I always describe, because I lived in Manitoba. So Manitoba, God, so Alberta is like when you think of like the rolling hills covered in, golden hay, that's Alberta. Manitoba is like a shitload of lakes, and I don't even know what is in Saskatchewan. I try to minimize the amount of time I spend in that province. It is just a boring green patch of nothing. I hate it. I lived in Manitoba for 6 years. It was awful. If you imagine Canada having an armpit, and then if you imagine that armpit having an armpit, that's Manitoba. Horrible. I never want to go back. My goal is to make it big enough in the internet world that I can charter my own personal Learjet, so that if I ever need to fly to BC, I can fly around Manitoba. I don't even want to fly over it. I will go through the Arctic Circle so that I can bypass that province. Jeez. Anyways, just wanted to get that out there.
Have you ever been to Florida?
You know what? That is one of the like 2 states that I've ever actually visited. States that I've ever actually visited are California and Florida. And man, Florida, I like to think as Florida is the United States of America's Dr. Seuss experiment,
Yeah. Oh, of course, yes.
You're going to see some shit that you have never seen before. People on drugs you've never even heard of. Yeah. Yep.
Made up drugs like fentanyl.
It's crazy, man.
Like fentanyl.
Go to the gas station and get like a Slurpee, and some lady comes like, I just got done smoking a ballpoint pen, and I'm like, what? God, get away from me. Yeah,
Jesus.
It is scary, man. I'm telling you.
What does that even mean?
So I've been to a couple places in the States, but boy, and the drivers in Florida, I have never, man. Florida's one big road. You see someone on the highway and they're like inconvenienced, they'll just drive through the entire grass median to get to wherever they want to be. That's like, crazy.
I've seen that. That's true. Yeah. That's a real thing. That's really
a real
happens.
thing, man.
Yeah, 100%.
I've been going there for 13 years for spring training, and I've not seen a blinker one time.
Yeah. I don't even know if they make them in the cars down there.
The right lane car going in that direction. Why do you need a blinker?
Good point.
Obviously, I'm going that way. Like, why do you need a blinker? It seems redundant.
Your eyes are the blinkers. Do you see me turning? Then obviously I'm going that direction. Hello.
How do you not know that I'm going to the Chipotle 20 minutes away? How do you not know that already? No, obviously that's where I'm going.
The level
one of the 9 Chipotles within a square mile.
The hate for all these different regions is just so unwarranted. It just came out of nowhere. Pure aggression.
I can tell you right now, if you spend 1 week in Manitoba, you'll be like, "Yep, I get it. I understand."
All I know is Southwest Canada and Northwest United States are amazing. That's all I know.
Is that all you know?
Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true.
I think the Northeast isn't bad of America. I mean, what, New York
I think
City,
Northeast is good too. I didn't say it was the only good place.
Boston? I felt like you said it was the only good place.
Now, can I confess something to you guys? Because I recently found out that New York and I'm not even memeing. I'm being totally sincere. I found out that Boston is not a part of New York.
Stop that.
That's true. I did not know. I didn't know that. Listen,
okay. Very, very separate cities that hate each other for the most part.
I literally thought. Where's the Bronx? Is the Bronx in Boston or is that in New York?
It's in New York. It's a borough.
Stop, dude.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Listen.
I'm very upset. I didn't understand a word you said about Canada, but I'm very upset that you didn't know the difference.
They're the same.
New York City is, in his defense, the only city with boroughs in the entire country or any other country. Now that I think about it,
that's fair. Yeah. It's true. There's no borough. I don't even know what a borough is. We just call it that.
It's just a separate city that's attached to the other parts of the city.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something to do with gang wars. I have no clue. I have no idea how it happened, but I know that.
I watched the Netflix special about the mafia in New York, and now I just understand the entire area is scary, and buildings have probably not been built to code, and it's just a sketchy place. It's pretty sketchy. Intimidating, man.
They were built and then they were remodeled 30 years later, and then after that remodeled again, and then after that remodeled again, and then at this point they're just piles of boards.
Yeah, it sounds like my body in a nutshell.
Oh yeah, and never go to
getting more and more expensive.
I know it's probably a flex. Have you ever been to Rome and seen like
I have
Okay, so Trevor has. Okay, so Milton hasn't.
I've never left the continent. I have never. At this point, because I'm an epistemologist and a solipsist, and I only am secure in the knowledge of my own mind, I don't even know that Rome exists. Maybe it's not even there.
What the is that?
I'm an epistemological.
Now you need to explain the two gigantic words you just used in front of Paul.
I can't even spell it.
I'm an epistemological solipsist, which means that I am only convinced of the existence of my own directly accessible mental contents. I know that something has to exist to do the thinking because I'm the one experiencing the thinking, but everything and anyone else in my entire life could simply be a coordination of complicated electrical and chemical signals in my brain. You never know. Are your hands or are they apples? Why do you think that they're not apples? Because you feel them? Because you touch them? That's all electrical impulses in your brain, man. You could be in a jar on Mars and not even know it.
The entire concept of the Matrix, basically.
It's true. I don't know that Rome
Neo
exists.
wakes up and realizes that the only thing real is what's in his brain.
That bingo.
Bro.
See, that's where
Actually,
we're going.
that is actually the premise of the whole movie series, The Matrix.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, exactly.
That's why they learn kung fu, because they believe they can do it.
Now you want here, I'm just real quickly, can I just bake your noodle with this concept and just take it a little bit further, okay? Here we go. Think about this. Imagine, look at the state of video games in 2020, okay? Compare that to the state of video games in 1920. Now, obviously there were none as far as I know, but imagine if somehow we didn't destroy ourselves as a species, and imagine what video games would be like in 10,000 years. Okay. Now you'll see where this is all going. You can imagine how realistic it would be, how realistic VR would be in 10,000 years. Be incredibly, incredibly realistic. And in fact, if you could work on, simulation software for long enough, you could probably really accurately simulate entire areas of the universe down to a molecular level. And it would be so well done, it would be indistinguishable from real life. The only difference between things like Sims and humans at an advanced enough level is that they cannot tell that they've been created. So, and then you have to ask yourself, look out there at the cosmos, look at how many stars and planets there are that are millions to billions of years older than the Earth. And then you have to ask yourself, would an advanced civilization make those simulations? Almost certainly. And if they did, you have absolutely no way to verify that you aren't living in a simulation. You have no way of knowing, because if there's a single civilization out there 100,000 years older than us, and they've made billions and billions of cycles of simulations of the universe, there is a high probability that we are simulated as opposed to being real.
That's not. Yeah.
So that's just wanted to.
AKA the fucking Matrix, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to float that in there just for something to consider. You may not be real and you may have never been real.
Just to put it just a little more context, because I've thought about this too. People ask, hey, do you think aliens exist? Do you think, I go, the chances of there being no aliens is so much smaller than the chances that there are what you just said is true.
Hey, Paul, you doing okay, Paul? I just want to make sure he's, I think,
way more likely that what you said is true than that there's no one but us.
Well, that's exactly it. Oh, that I can save that for later if you want, but I will take you on a trip from whence you will never be the same person that you were when we departed. When we go down the alien rabbit hole, I have some things that you haven't considered before.
Okay, well, something tells me that no matter what we talk about in the rest of this podcast, some of that coming out because you're way too fired up.
Paul, it's leave? Okay. No, Paul, it's going to be fine. Come back. You're okay. Oh, God, we lost him. That's it.
Cheers. We need a defibrillator.
It's the existential meltdown that comes with realizing that maybe you're not even real. Maybe you're just a sim in some advanced aliens video game.
Hey, but there's silver linings, bro. Like, for example, that 2-run homer I gave up the other day doesn't count.
It wasn't even your fault. It was your program. It was your programming, man.
Stupid simulator. All right. Do you want to get into some questions, Paul? Paul, are you seriously gone? Because we can't hear you.
He's standing and walking back and forth and holding his headphones, and I think he's in the midst of an absolutely intense existential meltdown. You hate to see it.
He's doing the scene from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, exactly. It's all right, man. Listen, this is the beginning of his enlightenment journey. It's a beautiful thing. We should celebrate it. Oh, hey, Paul.
Hey.
You doing okay?
No. No, I'm not, Milton. You get that crazy extraterrestrial shit out of my podcast.
This is why Interstellar is better than Inception.
Thank you. That's
Actually,
absolutely right.
I mean, Inception's kind of in that realm too. God, he needs to make more movies.
Inception.
When's Tenet come out again?
How are you just so cool with everything he just said?
Because I've thought about it too, Paul. It just has never come up when we were playing Tarkov. Somehow we've avoided it to this moment.
We never talked about epistemology.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Episcopalianism. It's close, man.
Can we get to the questions about fast food now?
Yes, got it.
Yes.
Got it, dude. You got to lead off though with the first question.
Okay. Milton T. Pike.
Yes.
Question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Where did your name come from? And if this wasn't the first name you've had, what was it before that?
Well, I chose MiltonTPike1 after my first online handle didn't really seem to catch with any potential audiences I had. I used to be called Dinkleberry Finkelwater, and that didn't really seem to. No, that's not true. I made that up. Milton T. Pike is the name of a serial killer from the.
I'm sorry. You can't.
What is happening?
You can't do that.
What?
You can't red pill me and then tell me some shit that isn't actually real.
How do you know that? How do you know that you're not literally making me up right now?
Shut your mouth, Milton!
You need to wake up, Paul. You're asleep, Paul. You need to wake up. You're in a coma, Paul. You need to wake up. We're waiting for you out here.
Stop!
You hear that pterodactyl just fly over?
Shut up, Trevor. Tell me about your damn name, Milton.
So Milton T. Pike was actually the name of a serial killer in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
And he was featured in a couple of different things, and I came across him in like the late 90s in the game Shadow Man for the Nintendo 64.
Okay.
I thought he was a cool, creepy character with a weird, creepy storyline.
Yeah.
And then I just figured I needed to have an online name that was not my full legal name with like my fucking social insurance number. So I just figured, well, shit, I got to be known as something. And I used to, when I was like 9, I was like, I'm gonna have a cool online. I'm gonna be Burning Skull, Dragon Slayer, Lord, Woman, Coitus Maker. I was like, well, that's kind of. I was like, what, man? That's a
had everything.
one.
I don't know what your deal is.
You gotta hit
everything you look for.
You gotta hit all the key terms.
Yeah.
Dragons.
Wait, so Milton T. Pike,
ladies.
Milton T. Pike wasn't an actual murderer. He's from a video game.
My understanding is that his portrayal in the video game was based on the absolutely real actions of an actual serial killer. And they might have changed his name a little bit for the sake of the game, but he was a real dude who came back from Vietnam and was convinced that the government was like some clandestine group of lizard people was like trying to take his brain out. So he created this group called Knights of the American Heartland, where it was like, oh, we're going to, take back our country or whatever, but then became convinced that the own people in his organization were also out to get him. So he killed all of them too.
Oh,
I just thought it was a real wholesome name to sort of run with,
This seems like a good branding option there.
That later.
Seems like you really build a brand around that. Maybe it's a merch.
Yeah, You ever have doubts about someone? Better off just killing them.
So there's that.
Yeah, so that's where the name comes from. Well, and also, this is one of my favorite things. So why is my name MiltonTPike1 as opposed to Milton T. Pike?
I'd love to know.
Yeah, you see, your boy Milty's got some 200 IQ. So when I went to make my channel, I wanted to get Milton T. Pike, and I saw that the name was taken, and I was like, what? Who would know such an obscure name? But whatever. I was in a bit of a hurry because everyone was like, "You gotta make a channel now. Do it. What are you playing GTA roleplay without a channel? You idiot! Make one." And I was like, "Okay." So I just added a 1 to the end, and then I was MiltonTPike1. After I had, I think I'd got 30 or 40,000 followers on Twitch. I decided to go and look up who is this Milton T. Pike on Twitch. Yeah. And I looked them up, and they had like 12 followers, which I was pretty sure was people trying to follow me and not finding the right person. And they were only following one person, which I thought was really strange. And the one person that Milton T. Pike was following was my brother. And I was like, okay, some asshole took my name and followed my, and I thought, how would they have known that that was the name I was going to go for? They didn't. It was me. I fucking made that account in 2013 and forgot. So I had to add a 1 to my own fucking name because I'm so stupid that I forgot that I made an account in 2013 to watch my brother. So I spent $2,500 on branding and artwork to include the fucking 1 when I could have just used the fucking original 1. Oh. So that's where the 1 comes from. So stupid. If I had to list the 5 dumbest things I've done in my life, that's easily the top 3. That's all of them. 1, 2, and 3. So stupid, man. That's where the name comes from.
It was you. Oh, God.
That was me. God. So... Yeah,
you
so
forgot that you made the name.
Couldn't. It was so stupid, and I was even mad at the person who made the thing. I was like, "Oh, you're just gonna make Milton T. Pike follow my brother? Oh, you're so clever." And I thought, "Oh fuck, hold on, wait a second. Yep, it's my account." So after I'd already built up all my branding, I'm wearing my partner shirt right now, which has the 1 on it. I have a partner shirt with the fucking 1, and it didn't have to be there. Yeah. So, anyways.
Well, now you have a phenomenal story, as you know, is the reason we do any of this.
Oh, God.
Who gives a shit if we like go into a game and we like kill people? Oh, look, he's got 10 kills. No. They want us to wipe our accounts on accident.
Don't make this about you, Trevor.
Sorry, that's the dumbest thing I've ever done. So.
Trevor erasing his Tarkov account.
Oh yeah, I thought I remember. Didn't I see something about that where you're like, "Is there a way to undo this?"
And they actually helped me.
Oh
like,
wow!
It was 300 hours worth of stuff, like just gone. Like I would never pick up the game. It's like if you go into WoW and you're like, "Hey, my character," and you click on delete on accident, but instead of saying, "Are you sure?" it just goes, "Okay." Gone.
See ya. You seem committed.
Gone.
See you later. Have fun starting again.
You to confirm it, just like you did it. It's gone.
Congratulations. You have nothing now.
A box that pops up is literally like, you can't wipe it again for 2 weeks. You're like, okay.
Why would I want to wipe it again?
Why would they fucking limit that? Like,
doesn't go, stop.
Darn.
Everything's gone if you do this. It's like, remember, 2 weeks, gotta wait to do it again.
You know, and the thing is, here's the thing, okay? Listen, so some people don't know this, but in the first year that I was streaming, I think I logged probably 450 hours in Escape from Tarkov and haven't touched it since then. And the reason is that I found that Escape from Tarkov was a lot like the infantry in the sense that being in the infantry and playing Escape from Tarkov are a lot like smashing your balls between 2 bricks. In this way, it feels so good when you stop. It feels so good when you just don't do it anymore. When you are just no longer playing Tarkov and you're no longer in the infantry, everything is so much better.
Wow.
God, that fucking game, man. Oh, I can't tell you.
What the?
What?
That's clever.
I'm telling you, man. That's the truth.
Oh.
That's fuck that game.
Does your face hurt from punching yourself?
Oh
Just stop.
my
Just stop. You'll see how good it feels.
Holy hell! You wrote that down ahead of time. You were like podcast jokes.
Nope.
No.
Two bricks.
That actually, believe it or not. So, hold on. I'm trying to think of a PG way to word this, or a way that's at least going to be appropriate for the podcast, and I've got it because there was two analogies that I heard when I was in the infantry. The one was that one. The one that they said, the way that they said it was smashing yourself in the face with a hammer. And they said, why is being in the army a lot like smashing yourself in the face with a hammer? And I said, why? And he said, because it feels so good when you stop. I said, okay. And the other one that I heard was like my first day at battalion. So I got through basic training, which was 14 weeks of hell. And then I got through developmental phase 1 infantry training, which is where they trained me to be a machine gunner. And that was 14 weeks of even worse hell. And then finally, my crowning achievement, I get posted to my battalion. And now I'm officially part of an infantry regiment. And I showed up on day 1, and a master corporal, who's now a good friend of mine, said, joining the infantry is, and I'm going to change the wording here a little bit just for the sake of PG, but he said, joining the infantry is a lot like having intercourse without a condom. And I said, oh, and he said, yeah, seems like fun. Maybe you think it's going to be an adventure. Maybe some of your friends are doing it and telling you how cool it is. But once you're in, you realize it's a bad idea to come. That's the truth. So that's just straight from the infantry. That's right what they told me. That's what they told me the day I showed up. They said that to me. Yes.
Welcome. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah, that's what they said. They're like day 1, they're like, hey, how many days you got left? 691. Welcome to the suck, fuckhead.
How did you edit out the first part? We're like, the joke is still fine.
They said it in an infantry way that was much less approachable.
Gosh, I can only imagine.
Anyway, so that's my name.
So much.
That's where the name comes from.
So remember when we introed Milton here about 30 minutes ago? Storytelling was one of the things that was Eddie what? And now you get it.
Storytelling.
So let's hear a story about your favorite fast food.
My favorite fast food.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
See, now this isn't. This
We know
isn't
you eat it. Come on.
Well, what do you mean? What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean? You know I eat it, huh? You say
Everyone
that because of my pleasant, plump Buddha-like dumpling Buddha body? Is that what it is? I'm softer because I'm a little marshmallowy around the midsection. Holy shit. I know a guy who appreciates some fast food when I see one, and you look like you know your way around a hamburger, son. The fuck does that mean? Okay,
That's what he
first
meant.
of all,
That's what he meant.
there's an important
That's it.
there's an important qualifier here. Okay. What do you mean by fast food?
Yes.
Because-
It means
Go ahead.
different things in the States.
Okay.
So I have certain nostalgia attached to playing video games when I was in high school a lot and picking up fast food before a long gaming session.
Yeah.
So what I try to ask people who have been playing video games for a long time is, do you have like your one of those places, and it doesn't even actually have to be like a chain or like even fast food. It could be like a place down the road from your house that you grew up in that you literally would go get and then just go play video games for 9 hours. You know what I mean? Something like that. So it could be even like, it could literally be like a gas station, or it could, you know, we had one person who it was literally gas station food, which was kind of sad, but
well,
it fulfilled the requirements.
Good.
I'll answer the first question. Well, so and the reason that I ask it is because the answer to my favorite fast food is Five Guys. Yeah. But some people say that's not technically fast food. Some people say it's not technically fast food because they don't have a drive-through. So it's technically not fast food. But I say those people are disgusting inbreds who thinks that things like Shake Shack actually make good hamburgers, and that is like a dump between two buns. That what a
double shots fired.
What a burger can fuck off, and in and out can take a big old hydraulic suck off of my butt cheeks. But Five Guys, on the other hand, Five Guys is
You've
where
only
you
been
go.
to California and Florida. Where'd you have Whataburger?
Truth be told, I've never had it. I don't need to though. I don't need to. You know, if someone were to say, "Hey, would you like to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 this plate of dog shit?" I wouldn't have to taste it to rate it. I'd already know that it's a 0. Same thing with Whataburger. That's just simple logic. So Five Guys is definitely where it's at. I love Five Guys.
Yeah.
I love the bag fries that they have. They just give you 600 potatoes worth of French fries per order. So I'm a big fan of that. But if I'm sitting down to a gaming sesh, my go-to 5-cent candy.
5-cent candy.
5-cent candy.
Sorry,
Little
what the hell did you just say?
5-cent candy. The little cola bottles and the little
Literally
hot
like the little things that are
the
just
little
like
tongs. You gotta go to you get a little bag and you get the little tongs and put them in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? What?
The little bulk, okay. So if you go to Paul, think when you were a kid go instead of going Halloween trick or treating, the houses you went to a little downtown area or something, went to all the shops. Have you ever done that?
Okay, no, but I feel like I'm kind of tracking. Okay. So think of it like a kind of a filler candy. It's hard to explain. Like the garbage they sell in the bulk section of Wegmans.
Yeah. Bulk candy.
First of all,
bulk candy is trash. You probably love. You love your grandmother's candy dish? What the hell?
I'm not eating Werther's Originals.
I would actually give you credit if you were. That's a decent candy.
Okay.
I cannot believe. Okay, all right, motherfucker. What's your go-to fast food then?
Hold on.
He actually loves Five Guys.
Oh, okay. Well,
did you say the wax Coke bottle?
No, not
you like
wax.
soog a half a centimeter of an ounce of soda out of?
No, the ones that
0.05 ounces.
They're shaped like a Coke bottle and they taste like Coke, and you just eat the whole thing, not that wax garbage.
Coke bottle candy. Hold on a second. I'm Googling hard.
I can't believe it's. Look up. Oh, what the fuck is it?
This
Haribo.
shit?
Haribo Coke bottle candy. Look it up. Yeah.
Haribo candies.
Yeah. Have you not? Do you not have those in America?
Oh, we do.
No, we don't sell poison. What the hell?
Oh my! You don't sell poison. You don't sell poison down there. You listen here. Okay?
This trash with the freaking bear who's holding the Coke bottle like a schlong. Look at that thing. It's freaking exploding.
Do not talk bad about Haribo. Okay.
That's
oh my
right.
gosh. I mean, if
your peach chunk things are the greatest thing ever created.
Bro,
And-
look, I get it. If you're bound up, by all means, go get some Haribo. It'll loosen you up. That's totally fine. If you haven't taken a dump in 3 days.
Haribo sugarless gummy bears. That'll clear you out.
I have never in the 40 episodes of this podcast asked someone, "What's your favorite fast food?" And they're like, "My grandma's candy dish."
No, it's not my grandma's
what the
candy
hell?
dish. It's the stale 5-cent candy from the gas station. There's an important distinction.
Paul. It's about how it makes you feel.
That's right. Okay.
That's not even the question we asked. That's not fast food.
But he answered the fast food one, and then fine, we'll expand. You know what else I remember? I remember the old Amp energy drinks, which I drank 4 of a night, and powdered donuts and Wild Bear Skittles. Don't ask me how these all came together. They were always on sale.
Did you guys ever have at any point a phase where the energy drink was Rippets?
No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I'm an energy drink savant.
No, not Whippets. That's a different kind of energy drink.
Like the freaking drug?
No.
Are you a huffer?
No, Rip It, man. RIPPIT, all one word. Rip It.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's trash.
There's a frog and he's high as shit on the freaking the cover of it.
Every now and then, so when we were in the I got introduced to him when I was in the army. What would happen is if you were on like a 4-week exercise out in the field, not going to see civilization for 4 weeks, 2 weeks in, we would have what's called a smoker. And a smoker is where they make these gigantic bonfires out in the fucking middle of nowhere. And we would all like cook hot dogs and hamburgers. And for like 2 hours, one evening, we'd sit there eating burgers and hot dogs and chewing tobacco and smoking cigarettes. And then the next day it was back to the suck. And when they did this for whatever reason, maybe it was part of a mind control operation with the Canadian military, they'd truck in these boatloads of this absolute ass quality fucking diarrhea water energy drinks called Rippets. And each can had like 340 milligrams of caffeine. So you'd see some dude who's like just desperate to have something that's not shitty canteen water, chugging 3 Rippets. And then 20 minutes later, you see him ripping his clothes off and jumping over the fire like, my lightning in my face! I can't, who am I? That's Rippets. That's
I'm trying to
Rippets.
think there's one in America. I think this is a Canadian one. And there's a version of it that I've drank before, and it's awful. Yeah.
I'm looking at there's like an article that says how the U.S. military got hooked on Rippets.
Yeah,
Dude, did they like partner with our armed forces and like recruited us? Oh my God. It's like they're on Twitch. Jesus. Rippets. Well, don't drink them. Got it.
Where did
what? You just muted yourself.
You just muted yourself. Why'd you do that?
I muted I hit backslash. Damn it.
Okay. That's all right.
We asked what his favorite fast food was, and he like hit us with like the normal answer, like, oh well, I kind of like Five Guys, and you're like, Whataburger sucks, and like, you know, whatever. I also like wax candies and
I've never in my life eaten a wax candy. Let it stand the test of time. I have never in my life eaten a wax candy and never will.
What's your favorite fast food, Milton? Well, I like Jolly Ranchers and government-issued energy drinks. That's what I'm into.
Government-issued.
Sign me up, dude, for 780 milligrams of caffeine and some wax from the gas station. That ought to tie me over.
What the hell? All right. I don't know where we're at, but it's not where we should be. I don't know.
Real quick, because I'm curious, what are your favorite fast food places?
Oh gosh, Trevor.
Mine's Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
That was the big one for me. So there's a Taco Bell like 4 blocks away from the house, and then 1 block from the Taco Bell was a Shell gas station. And that gas station was like it was the 2 for, you know, gas stations. Like everything was 2 for $5, 2 for $4, 2 for $3, everything was just like everything in the entire store was 2 for. So I would be like, oh, 2 for $3, you know, amps. I'll take 4. Outer donuts 2 for $6. I'll take 4.
Okay.
2 for $1.50 Wildberry Skittles. 6. You know, that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday night.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Somehow I was young and svelte, and I didn't gain weight, and now I can't even eat 1 Skittle.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I envy
some kind of way.
I envy your self-control because I see what it does to my body, and I'm just like, oh fuck it. And what are we doing next weekend? I guess the same thing. Surely there's no consequence to eating 6,000 calories a day and no exercise. I'm sure my body will just figure out a way to deal with it.
Yeah, and like 5,000 calories are just pure unadulterated cane sugar.
Yeah. My body's like, motherfucker, how do you think I'm gonna build bones out of sugar? What are you doing? How am I supposed to make blood cells out of wax? What are you eating? Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Build bones out of sugar.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you.
Sugar bones. Holy hell. I don't think I have I can't even think about my favorite fast food right now. I don't know where I'm at. I think Taco Bell, I guess, is probably my favorite. Tim Hortons is pretty close up there as well.
Oh yes.
To be honest, a lot of memories around getting crullers and large hot chocolates. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's that. Also, the little tiny Hershey's, you know what I mean? Like the little individually wrapped Hershey's nuggets. Really? With like the single almond in it from my grandma's candy dish.
Yeah, I knew you were going there. My grandma had those too.
Hershey's Kisses, you mean?
Yeah, you know the crackles and Mr. Good bars. You know those little tiny ones.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
From the
okay, I got you.
50s.
Yeah. The ones that were 50% asbestos, gotcha.
Budget store freaking Crunch bars.
Eat them or insulate your house. Your choice.
Useful for food or an emergency fire starter, whatever you need. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
that's
we're on
fair.
the third question. If you
I'm
were
sorry.
wondering.
I'm moving along.
Because I think you're actually like lost.
Oh, I am. I don't know. We're in a simulation. None of this matters. So,
That's right.
What did you do, Milton? Which I think we got a little bit of a preview of, honestly, in question 2 and 1. What did you do before content creation? And when did you decide to go full time?
Oh man, it's actually been pretty fucking nuts. So I right out of high school. So out of high school. So here's a little factoid I don't think I've ever really said anywhere else. This is you're hearing it here first. So in high school, I dedicated 100% of my time to studying. I didn't have any friends. I didn't go to any of my graduation ceremonies, like my cap and gown, my dry grad. I didn't go to any of that because I spent the entire time studying for my final exams.
I'm sorry, dry grad?
Dry grad, yeah, that might be another Canadianism. It honestly might even be a British Columbia-ism. It's basically the party before the grad party, and it's called dry grad because you're not supposed to drink alcohol, but you just basically meet and they play that, "Will we be my friends forever?" And people slow dance and I don't know, that sort of thing. Yeah, that sort of thing. So I skipped all of that to study my final exams, and I managed because I sacrificed the rest of my life to study because I'm not some super genius. It was just a matter of hard work. I finished with a 4.0 GPA, which meant that the Royal Military College of Canada offered me a $250,000 scholarship to do a full 5-year civil engineering program. And it was like 4 years of a program and then another year of second language training and military skills and blah, blah, blah. And so I went, it's the day after I accepted my high school diploma, I went to basic training. And I went to the Royal Military College to study civil engineering to become a combat engineer. And I love the way that all happened because here's a little anecdote about how I ended up in the military the first time. I met my liaison officer, and this was before I knew how I did on my final exams. He said, "What do you want to do there, son?" And I said, "Well, I don't know anything about the military. I don't come from a military family, but when you watch Saving Private Ryan, the guys who are like digging trenches and, eating bugs and shit, like that's what I want to do. I want to do like the hard thing." And he's like, "Oh, you mean infantry?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "We always need infantry. Sounds good, buckaroo." So I looked at he gave me this disc that had the different degree programs. And after like a month, I was like, "Okay, I want to be an infantry officer with a degree in military strategic studies." And he was like, "Yeah, sounds great." And then he saw my report cards and he was like, "We're not wasting you in the infantry." And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." And he was like, "So just pick something else. Just pick another combat trade." And I was like, "Okay, how about artillery?" And he was like, "How about combat engineer?" And I was like, "Okay, all right. I'll be a combat engineer with a degree in military strategic studies." And he said, No, you got to get a degree in engineering. And I said, "Okay." And he said, "So just pick a degree, just pick one of the engineering programs. They're fun." And I was like, "Okay, how about chemical engineering?" And he's like, "How about civil?" I was like, "Okay, I've decided nothing. Why would you even ask me what I wanted to do? I didn't want to do either of these things." And so I went off. So I went off to the college to study this program that I wasn't interested in to do a job that I didn't want to do. And I got there, and I remember sitting through my first class of advanced linear algebra. And being like, "Why am I doing this? Like, this is so horrible. This is the worst thing I've done."
I've never heard of someone getting finessed so hard. Something they didn't want to do.
Yeah, and the worst part was that
the hell out of you.
I was so unassertive in my life that he was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll be infantry." And he was like, "How about engineer?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll do that instead." Okay. So,
how about chemical engineer? Civil. Okay.
Yeah. And so I got there, realized how much I hated it at a fundamental level, and left. And I left. And I had to get some I actually had to get some heavy duty reconstructive surgery on my knee during that time period. So I got my knee put together with a bunch of titanium anchors and screws, and then realized that what I was actually interested was science and like life sciences. So I wanted to study biology. So I went to university in BC. I got my bachelor's of science with a major in biology and a minor in ocean sciences. And as soon as I left, because I had worked like crazy on networking while I was at university and touching bases with various environmental consulting firms, I was hired as a P2 biologist out of university. So I worked for a year and a half on a construction site as the environmental auditor. And basically what my job was I would go around the site and I'd see people operating bulldozers and front end loaders and dump trucks. And I'd watch them doing things like emptying their bedpan into a stream. And I'd like, whoa, hey, there's approximately 6,000 salmon smolt downstream that you are literally going to kill all of them. You're going to kill all those fish. And they'd look at me and be like, well, I'm going to do it anyways. I'd be like,
you can do that.
Yeah. And I'd be like, oh, and then I'd bust out my secret weapon, which was my fucking notepad. I'm like, I'm going to make a note. And they'd be like, go ahead. And then I'd be like, oh, well, I'm all puffed up as Mr. Environmental. And I'd go back to the client. You wouldn't believe what Jason was doing down at the slab mixing site. I saw him pouring oil into a stream. And they'd be like, oh, Jason, that jokester. Thanks, Milton. That's it. Like, it had no effect. It didn't do anything. The guy never got in trouble. There was no negative. And I was like, my job is pointless. I have no purpose. I don't even know why I'm here. What the fuck am I doing? So after doing this for a couple of years, the decision that actually the final nail in the coffin of biology for me was that I had to do a 4.5 hour commute every day. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes to get there because it was about an hour and a half drive. And then, get this. So it was an hour and a half drive and then a 45-minute ferry ride. And I got to the site at 7 a.m. and I left the site at 7 p.m. And then it was a 45-minute ferry ride back and an hour and a half drive. So I was doing about 16 and a half hours a day. And we worked, it was called 21 and 4s. So you'd work 3 weeks straight and then you'd get 4 days off. And then you'd work 3 weeks straight, and then you'd get 4 days off. No weekends. So, I mean, I was making...
That's illegal. I don't know.
Well, I don't have weekends either.
It wasn't illegal because they paid us full overtime. So I was making and double time. As soon as you went over 60 hours a week, you were getting double time. So I was making good money, but I was like, I have no purpose. Yeah. Why am I here? No one even listens to anything I say. Why are you making me do this? So anyways, I after like 2 years, I was like, I can't do it. Now I was probably feeling resentful to my liaison officer from before. So I went, no, you know what? I'm going back to the Army. And this time I'm going to do it the way that I fucking wanted to. So
wow, I did not go back.
I did go back. Oh yeah, absolutely.
My goodness.
So in the interim period, I did a few research projects for the Pacific Forestry Center, as well as writing a 97-page thesis on the boundary layer basal laminar airflow and sediment transport dynamics of a restored dune system near Wicken. Yeah.
What did you just say?
Basically, I was paid by Parks Canada to study, and you'll like this. I was paid by Parks Canada to study sand dunes on the coast of British Columbia, and I literally, my responsibility, you'll like this, my responsibility, all I had to do with an 8-month scholarship was to determine whether or not the sand was moving towards the land or towards the ocean. So after 8 months, I finished this fucking thesis and I'm presenting it to the department, and they're like, so what are your findings? And I was like, the sand dune from my estimations appears to be moving inland. And I looked at my supervisor and he was just slowly shaking his head, and I was like, I mean towards the ocean. And they were like, thanks, Milton, great. So I did that.
That last part did not happen. He did not shake his head, and you changed your answer.
Yes, 100%. Well, I didn't do it there in the spot, but I like looked at him to see if I was on the right path, and he just sort of shook his head. So I was like, but my findings are obviously open to further revision pending more research. Yeah.
So holy hell. When did you start living your life? Like, when did you start deciding what you wanted to do?
Yeah, well, that's where streaming came into it.
Holy hell.
So I joined the Army, and I did that for 3 years. I was a C6 heavy machine gunner and a weapons detachment commander for an infantry unit. And I did that. I did a bunch of crazy shit. Like I was one of the first people in the world qualified at driving the LAV 6.0 light armored infantry troop transport vehicle, a gigantic fucking 8-wheeled 55,000 pound troop transport truck with a gigantic 25 millimeter cannon on top. I got to fire a rocket launcher in a blizzard. I got to learn how to set and arm claymore. You know, I threw hand grenades, all that cool stuff. Never went anywhere. The farthest place I was deployed was New Brunswick, which sucked, I should add. And then I got out after 3 years. They were like, "Hey there, Buckaroo, why don't you come back and instead of paying you $4 an hour, we'll pay you $4.25." And I was like, "That sounds terrible. I would rather smash my balls between two bricks." So I left with the intention of actually getting back into the military for a third time in the Navy, because the thing about Canada, here it is. Check it out. This was carefully thought out. Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay.
In Canada, if you join the Army as an officer, and you're going to be like a postal clerk, so your job is to just handle mail. Mm-hmm. The 10th pay increment for a captain is $120,000 a year, and after 25 years, you get 85% pension. So you're going to be making $100,000 a year for the rest of your life for pension for being a postal clerk. And I was like, well, shit, man, that sounds pretty. And you get like 8 weeks of vacation and full dental, full medical, all the rest. And I was like, well, hell, that sounds like a pretty good bet. Yeah. And it was a month after I got out of the Army that someone sent me a YouTube video of Classy Pack's role playing in Grand Theft Auto 5. And at first, when my friend sent me the clip, I thought GTA roleplay sounded like the most finger-curling, cringe-worthy thing you could possibly do. It sounded so stupid. My friend was like, "You gotta check it out, man. It's like GTA, but people pretend that they're firefighters and stuff." And I was like, boy, that sounds dumb as fuck. What the hell? I don't even want to watch that. I don't even want to deal with the secondhand embarrassment. Like, I can't even handle that. So... And then I watched a clip of I watched this YouTube video of Classy Pax playing a super Canadian character named Gordy, and he got pulled over by the cops, and as soon as the cops like, "Can you roll down your window?" I was like, "Oh, hey, sweet Lord Tundring Jesus there, bud. How you doing?" I was like, "Oh, fuck me. Like, this is actually kind of funny." And so I tried to get into the server that I saw that these people were playing in, and I did so in February. And then my first time that I ever actually got into the server, because everyone was, fighting priority queue to get in. As soon as I got in, I met with some of the other GTA role players like Timac, PMS Proxy, and they all said like, "Oh my God, you have to start a Twitch channel." And that was on May 11th, 2017. And the rest is history.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was a colorful path to get here.
Well, that's so like you were already like in the community before the stream. Right?
Yeah. Well, very, very, very tangentially. And in fact, I kind of 200 IQ'd my way into the server because I knew I was not going to get whitelisted and given like a priority queue in the server at the time, which is called State of Emergency. If I was just depending on getting into this server on chance. So what I did was I made a 1.5-minute YouTube video that was an advertisement for Kiki Chanel's clothing. And I just like walked around in single player as Kiki Chanel, just slapping NPCs and stuff like that. And the server owner saw it and he was like, "I have never seen a dude play a 6'5" fashionista in the server yet. So I'm going to give him a shot." And that was how I did it. So I was technically
in the big leagues. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Just like you did in 2012.
Wow. Look at that. Oh, wow. Did his research?
I know everything about you, DJ Haybeef.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. My gosh.
Glory days, dude.
Bro.
Bring it back.
So I was kind of peripherally in the community until I landed that YouTube video. And then the YouTube video being like accepted and viewed and me being whitelisted and in the server and starting my channel all happened within about a week and a half.
Wow.
Damn.
It was pretty wild.
What was your what did you experience initial viewership wise? How was that?
I'm one of the very, very few people on Twitch who never, ever had to battle my way up from like 3 viewers, 5 viewers, 10 viewers. I think my first stream ever, I had 550 viewers.
Yeah.
And it sort of rode that way for pretty consistently on it. It never really dipped from there. Maybe a little bit about a year afterwards when GTA started to slow down.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite memories from my early Twitch is 6 days after my first stream. So my first stream was May 11th. On May 17th, Holy Man, a Twitch staff member, messaged me while I was streaming and said, "Hi, Milton, we've been keeping our eye on you the past week and we really like everything that you've been doing. We wanted to know if you wanted to partner with us." And I was like, "No, thanks." He was like, what? He was like, "What? Excuse me?" And I was like, I'm just not really interested in tying myself down right now. Like, I want to keep my options open. I remember his response was like, and then 3 periods, and then okay. Afterwards,
I heard Microsoft's coming out with their own.
It's really promising. I think it's got a long longevity ahead of it. Anyway, so I messaged a few of my friends afterwards. I was like, yeah, some weirdo asked me if I wanted to be partnered with Twitch. And they were like, "You fucking idiot. What do you mean? Why wouldn't you say yes to that?" And I was like, fuck. What I meant to say was, yes, I'd love to partner. So, so basically I was lucky enough to stand on the shoulders of these other people who had built themselves from the ground up in roleplay, and I got that boost initially, and was very fortunate to have a strong push right from the start.
That is amazing, man.
That is awesome. That's very similar to what our friend Jen Genticles, who we play Tarkov with all the time. She played Tarkov for like 2 years before she streamed. And we met her when the drops all happened, like at the end of last year. Because we were just playing, and she had a bunch of time. We had no idea what we were doing. She was our Sherpa. And then it turns out like she just is a regular in a bunch of different streams, is modded in a couple of streams. Like everyone in Tarkov, because it's such a tight, close knit community, very similar to RP, obviously. Yeah. That like everyone knew who she was already. So like when she started streaming, and then she knew some of the streamers, and they gave her some love, and she had 300, 400, 500 viewers right away, and got partnered in 3 months.
That's
less than that.
crazy.
No, a month. And
that's
then partnered
crazy.
For 3 months.
A month. Yeah.
So she and she went through like the process, and even the process now, which isn't easy.
Yeah.
She crushed it. So
wow.
And that's like doing this podcast and stuff. It's so interesting hearing everyone's path, because guys like Cypher PK, he's 24 now, and he's been on YouTube since he was 13. And then like and then people that were just like playing the game they liked, and then like got kind of in like made a bunch of friends in the community, and it was just a lot of fun, and then made a stream, and great. And it's awesome. It's so awesome. Like I guess like moving on to the next question, and it all happened very fast for you, so some of the learning as you grind through a lot of these I don't know, lessons are sometimes slower to be learned, but what's like one thing you wish you would have known like the day that you started that you had to learn later? Like what's a tip you would give to someone who was starting out?
That's a good question. I would say, like I always say, whenever someone asks me what is my advice when it comes to streaming, I think that it's a difficult thing to start as a hobby and turn into a career, because I think one of the most critical, important things to do in streaming is consistency in scheduling. You need to have a schedule that you stick to, and it needs to be longer than an hour and 15 minutes, or else no one's ever going to find you. So the big thing that I always say is make a schedule and stick to the schedule and make it a regular thing. Not like I'm going to stream the second Tuesday of every second month. Well, no one's ever going to find you, but it should be recurring and it should be a steady schedule. And the other thing that I wish that I had done right off the bat was continued with my YouTube. Because I made a couple of YouTube videos, they did really well, and then I just ignored it completely for Twitch for 3 years, and now I'm trying to start it off again, and I don't have the momentum that I had at the beginning. So I think I would say if anyone, once you start to see your stream is picking up momentum, diversify. Get into YouTube, get into Instagram, because it all helps with discovery. It all helps more people to eventually find your channel. So I would say schedule and diversification in like your online portfolio.
Paul always says that. He says that like Twitch isn't a a discoverability platform. It's like you bring people from other places.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this earlier on stream. People ask me like, what are your like main goals for your content? Because I play baseball vast majority of the time. So like, what do you want to do? What are you doing with this thing? So like, I was just talking to them mostly about like not like being like, I want this many followers, because that doesn't matter.
Yes.
What really matters is like knowing how the whole thing works and focusing on the processes of those things, like doing YouTube and then learning really a lot about YouTube and then putting out consistent YouTube videos. That is an actionable goal as opposed to I want 100,000 subs. Like that's not a process.
Yes.
And I think another part, just kind of put in different words about being consistent, and that's something that a lot of people have said. It's just like you're becoming part of people's lives, right? Like consistently, like you're their TV show.
Yeah.
So if you're in a live or a visual content space and you're doing it regularly, you want people to associate a time or a time of day or a day to you being online. That is
absolutely.
That's how you create those communities and find those really great people that then blossoms into, you might find a game that you never even thought about or whatever it is. And you go down this path of being a creator and you're playing something you never would have thought you were playing 6 months ago.
100%. And that's one of the things that I think is like, because people often ask me like, what do I get out of streaming or whatever? And this sort of ties in, because this is what I genuinely believe. I think that, unless you're like Shroud level good at a game, then there's probably a whole lot of other people who are probably about as good at you at that game. Unless you're in the top 0.001%, there's probably at least quite a few other people who are at the same skill level. So you shouldn't be expecting to have a successful stream purely based on your skill. And that's never what I wanted to make a stream for. I realized very quickly, as soon as I understood what Twitch was, that the whole thing that I wanted out of the entire journey was the relationship that I had with my community. That was what I wanted. The game is like the backdrop, and the what's in main stage is my interactions with my community and the inside jokes that we have, and like I know people's usernames and they know me, and you create that bond, and that's what I think personally is the most gratifying part of streaming. And so what I say, it all ties back into having a schedule, diversifying, is fostering a sense of community, and then making that your priority. Is what is your relationship like with your community? Do they really know you? Do they know much about? Do they feel like they know you as a person? They say, oh yeah, I know Milton, he doesn't like mayonnaise. You know what I mean? Like you want your community to know things about you. And that's what I think is one of the most important things you can do in streaming, is foster that relationship with your community. It's actually Moon who really harped on that. He says that he thinks that like one of the highest attainments a streamer can have is to not be a GTA roleplay streamer. It's to be a personality streamer. People don't tune in for the role play. They tune in for your personality. So
exactly.
Yeah. Who doesn't know the wham from Moon? I love Moon, man.
He's fantastic.
He's hilarious. Dude.
He's amazing.
Yeah. It's also Doc, right? Like people don't tune in because of what he's playing. It's because it's the show is Doc plays this, not like, oh, Doc the COD streamer or Doc the whatever streamer. Like, Doc plays this, Doc plays that. Like it doesn't really matter what it is. So,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Gotta find that thing, and then something makes you happy. And to be honest, guys, if you don't care about your community, like if that's not something that's important to you,
it's not going to work out.
No.
If you're caring about how much money you're going to make on a YouTube video and not how you're going to interact with the people that watch that YouTube video, then you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's very true. Fun. Well, Milton, we want to know this, and I'm ready for some sort of crazy ass Canadian dog shit answer. But what is your favorite social media platform? And where do you feel like you're not on enough? Like which one is not doing as well that you would like?
Big fan of MSN Messenger. I've got 29 friends. I've got 6 more, but they're pending. But I've got 29 friends for now, and I really feel like it's growing, man. I can usually spark up a chat within 20 or 30 minutes of being online. No, my favorite social media platform, I would say, is Twitter. I'm very, very regularly checking my Twitter, but I should be putting more time into my Instagram, and I'm determined to put more time into my YouTube. I hired a YouTube editor. I'm planning on putting out videos weekly, but that's the big one, I'd say. So for me, Twitter is my number one. The one that I wish I put more time into, and I intend to put more time into, is definitely my YouTube.
Okay, your YouTube. Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, as a content creator, I would wager that YouTube is the most important one to put time into.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many huge YouTubers I like followed, or like videos I saw and I was like, oh, this is freaking awesome. Like, I'm super big into reviews. That's just the kind of content I consume on YouTube typically. And I'm like, wow, this person has like 300,000 views on a video, 400,000 views on a video. I'm like, oh, I wonder like what their Twitter's about. And it's like 4,000 followers. It like doesn't matter. Like, they're just like, it doesn't matter. So like YouTube is so important. And the algorithm is like, it's just my experience recently with YouTube. And also just like over the past 2 years is that YouTube is like this weird algorithm, and that it's frustrating like Instagram, but it hits so good like Twitter. Like, once you get in the groove for a second, you're like, oh shit, this video's gonna hit. But it's like kind of hard to hit the wave every now and then. But when you do, you're like, oh, freaking nailed this. So yeah, it's nice. That's just, I don't know. That's a brief explanation of YouTube.
No, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to get into that. I want to like find how can I really get that juicy video that everyone wants to tune into? That's what I want.
I mean, if you're a little bit of a nerd too, it's fun to figure out the way it works. I mean, there's so many analytics and so much stuff to go off of. And just getting people to be and being like, oh, why do they like this? Why do they not like this? Why, like, what's working, what isn't, and why? And
it's true.
And then just doing the work. And I'm fortunate that my editors have been just absolutely gung ho. And to be honest, one of the best things I ever did, and this is just some random thing that I learned recently, was starting to give more and more autonomy, just being like, hey, run with these things because I think they're hilarious, great, and this type of editing and this stuff, just run with those. When you want to make jokes in this way and this type, just do it whenever you want. Do it. Wow. And they've just been like running. I'm like, dude, any ideas you have, just try it. Like, honestly, I don't have like a style that I need.
Yeah. How many people are on this team, dude?
2. And then there's one graphic designer guy.
3. Got it.
So my meetings are me and 3 other people.
Wow.
That's sort of what that's funny that you say that, because that's basically what I decided too. When I hired my YouTube editor, he did a couple of videos, and I found the one that I thought really sort of resonated with my own personal humor. And I was just like, hey, I really liked this video, and now that you know that information, I give you complete creative license. And he's made like 4 videos for me now, and they're amazing. Love them. They're so funny. It's exactly the type of video I would have wanted to make myself. So
yeah, and it's all about, and at this point, it's literally just all about making sure that you're talking to them regularly. That's my hardest thing that I'm doing now. We can't even schedule time to get all 4 of us in a room at the moment, but that's another thing we did weekly, and we just started talking about what my streams are going to be that week. And then they would talk about after, like, they'd be like, okay, here's the videos we were planning on releasing, and here's where I am in editing, and here, like, and we can do this, and this. Do we want to do a premiere for this one? I'm like, sure. Like, it's that process it gets it moving so much. Like, we were a well-oiled machine, especially like we did an MLB The Show league where I was playing MLB The Show all the time, and that was just going off. Like, it was going crazy. Like, my stuff grew so fast. Well, over quarantine too, everyone's watching YouTube, so it was great. Of course, now that stuff's not happening, but that's all right. Yeah, okay. It's all about just, again, consistency and
absolutely. Yep.
Get one of the 18 guys that got working for you, just figure something else out. You know what I mean?
Let me just consult my team of 30 staffers here, and I'll see if I can put one of them on.
Lots of people that like editing that will work with you just to get work. They're out there.
I think the only thing that surprised me was how much the average YouTube editor costs, because I pay mine $7,500 a video, and I was like, well, I'm hoping to see some returns on this eventually, because that's an investment.
Wait.
No, I'm fucking with you.
$350,000 a year.
I was like, man, I'm paying this guy $225,000 a year to do my YouTube editing. Like, I'm hoping I'm going to see some returns eventually, but in the meantime, that's a cost, man.
It's a steep.
You're like $225,000 or 10% of revenue, whatever.
Also, I don't make thumbnails, so you got to find another guy for that. Oh god, damn. Well, it's that time of the pod. We're gonna hit you with that sweet sponsorship ad.
Do it.
Freaking do it. Are you bored in the house? Why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make your balls as smooth. Make sure your balls are smooth while you and your partner are playing with them. Oh my God. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls, thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. Manscaped is our go-to brand for below-the-belt waist grooming hygiene. It's true. I use it. Oh, you're probably looking for new things to do at home. Why not make grooming your balls part of the routine? Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0. The Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with a new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. The third generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. Not only does Manscaped obsess over technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience, but they only use the best ingredients in their formulations. They also are not huge fans of periods. Inside the Perfect Package, you also find the Manscaped Proper Preserver. Periods is in grammar. At the end of
I was going to say
the end of sentences.
Hold on, that's a little problematic. No,
There's
gotcha.
a lot of
Punctuation.
commas.
Punctuation. Got it. Okay.
Inside the Perfect Package, find Manscaped Proper Preserver, ball deodorant, and anti-chafing ball deodorant moisturizer. You're probably sitting on your couch with your hand in your balls anyway. Might as well keep them smooth as eggs, smelling fresh. Subscribe to the Perfect Package and get a new replacement blade refill to your Lawnmower 3.0 delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not one, but 2 free gifts. The Shed Travel Bag, a $39 value, which I brought with me on my vacation, and man, is it handy for the balls. And the patented high-performance anti-chafing Manscaped boxers, which I also have and wear regularly. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with code MC at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Now go play with those smooth egg-like balls.
Dude, I got to say, after that enticing Manscaped ad, I am super into playing with my balls. That's effective advertising right there.
Me too, Paul.
Sign me up. Sign me up. Where can I order one? Could you tell me where I could go to order one of these?
Manscaped.com. But don't forget to use code MCA for May Contain Action for 20% off and free shipping.
Whew.
Yeah.
Hop aboard, balls. Next stop is Party Town.
There you go.
Don't smash your balls between bricks. Use the lawnmower. Make them smooth as eggs.
Man, Erin is going to be upset when she sees what I do in the yard. That's okay. You got it. That was awesome. Okay.
This is the ad they sent us. This is what,
Dude. Bored? Play with your ball. That's a start. Come on.
That's effective advertising.
Bro, honestly, this is we break the fourth wall with this ad every time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is what they send us. We take some liberties and they're like, sure, this is fine. Keep doing it. Whatever.
We are who we are.
Are you home and bored during quarantine? Why not smack your testicles around for a while?
Dollars. Keep up those great ad reads. Thanks for the $5, Manscaped.
Literally dozens of dollars.
Dozens. Sorry, we're moving on. I'm so sorry.
We
Trevor.
are moving on. Thank you for that wonderful ad read. I will take it from here.
Thank you.
All right. So there's one question on everyone's mind. I'm sure Paul probably has no idea what I mean, but you are known, as you said, from our RP on GTA 5
Yep.
as Kiki.
Correct.
So I want, and I'm sure every single listener would love to know the story behind Kiki. Where did she come from?
Yeah.
What is her deal?
What's her backstory?
For those people who haven't, because I'm sure when they're done listening, they're gonna go check it out.
No, it's going to happen.
But for those of the people that don't know,
Yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
let them know what it is.
Little spiel, little.
Yeah.
So let's walk back in time. So, 4 years ago, Private MiltonTPike1 in Her Majesty's Canadian Royal Armed Forces. The thing about the regiment, this is all connected, and you'll see where it ties in. This is Kiki's birth story.
Damn.
In the Army, it was basically seen as like initiation into the unit for you to do a cycle, a big old cycle of steroids. It was usually Anavar, human growth hormone, and as much intense shit as you can get. I would say if you put me in a room with 10 of my friends in the Army, at least 7 of them had done a full cycle at least once. Everybody did it.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Gotta
I'm
win,
just trying to.
we gotta win.
I don't understand. Yeah. So I just want to be absolutely sure I know what you're talking about. So you're like, hey, there's this thing you got to do since you're in here now. You have to take let's just say it's 10. You have to take 10 different steroids in a certain amount of time for our enjoyment.
Pretty much. And I mean, if I'm being really truthful, maybe it's not 70%, but it was seen as like, if you're like the hee-ho infantry guy, then you were expected to like be peripherally associated with the powerlifting team. And you were expected to be at the gym all the time. And it was expected that you were going to be attaining peak performance, whatever that looked like. And so a lot of my friends who were 18, 19 years old were doing these massive, terrifying cycles of a huge amount of chemicals that they knew nothing about. One of these friends, we'll call him Brad.
His name was Brad, wasn't it?
Sure.
It was Brad.
No, I'm trying to find one as different from his actual name as I can, so that if he's listening, he doesn't think that I'm talking about him. But when he hears the details of the story, he'll know that I am. So, Brad was like 6'9" and 110 pounds on a soaking wet day. So not a big guy, tall, not very built. And he wanted to basically get the fucking carpool lane to fitness. And he figured that would be taking a massive cycle of Anavar, HGH, Tren, Deca, testosterone, propionate, and 1 or 2 other cocktail. Now, the thing is, people who are taking this incredible cycle, the ones that I knew, there are 1 or 2 places that you could take this vitamin S. And that was either in your quad, where not a lot of guys wanted to do it because then they wanted to go and do leg day and do squats in the gym, or in the ass cheek. Yep. And so, because I was one of the very few people who didn't do this, I was seen as being tangentially useful in helping people, quote unquote, pin. So,
hold on, looking up tangentially. Hold on,
circumreferentially.
Looking up circumreferentially.
I was photosynthetically associated with my.
All right. Now you're just
all right.
So like I never ever tried any of the substances, but because I didn't do that, because like my roommate was doing it and a bunch of my friends were, they thought that at the very least, if I wasn't willing to be one of the boys and do this, that the least I could do is help them do it, help them do their dose. And they had to do it every alternating day. And so it turned into this weird thing where every now and then my friends would be like, hey Milton, can you I gotta talk to you upstairs for a minute. And I'd be like, what? I'm like, I gotta talk to you upstairs. And I'm like, okay. And I'd go upstairs and my friend would just like pull down their pants and just like bend over their ass, their chocolate starfish just staring me in the face. I'm like, Milton! Can you help me, Milton? I'm like, oh my God. So I got really, really good at injecting my friends' asses with steroids. And so my good friend Brad was doing such a huge cycle. Like he was doing like $2,700 a month, which is a huge amount for an infantry soldier who probably doesn't even make that much in salary. And I'm just the big one for him, the one that I think really fucked him up the most was Tren. Tren is a substance that hits the body incredibly hard. And when you think of people that have roid rage, it's usually Tren that does it. Or Tren is one of the big ones that'll do it. So anyways, my friend Brad, there I am pinning every second day. And then every now and then he'd come upstairs in the morning to like put away his stuff and get ready for the workday. And this is a soldier. And he said, look, he'd like be opening his locker and he'd drop his like duffel bag and he would lose his mind at the fact that he dropped his own duffel bag. Fuck! And he'd like punch his fucking, like rip the door off his locker, and then he'd sit and cry for 5 minutes and he'd be like, oh fuck, man, I need to smoke. And he'd go outside and I was like, dude, what is this doing to your body? And anyways, the day that I really realized that this guy was like in over his head was when he started to lactate. This like 19-year-old dude was literally lactating, and he'd sit there and go, oh, fuck, man, like I think I'm sick. And I'd be like, what? And I'd look over and he would literally be lactating. He'd have 2 wet spots on his shirt.
That's not possible. That you can't.
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. 100%. It was yeah. Look up like can men lactate steroids? Yeah. You'll see, man.
Steroids.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah. So as a quick explanation, so as a quick explanation for anyone who doesn't really understand how that works, basically the male body has testosterone and estrogen. And when you artificially increase your testosterone levels by taking steroids, your body tries to maintain the ratio. Let's say for men, it's 4-to-1, 4 parts testosterone to 1 part estrogen. I don't actually know what the ratio is, but let's just say it is. If you suddenly have 8 parts testosterone, your body is now going to try to automatically up it to 2 parts estrogen. And when you're taking these huge, ridiculous cocktails of chemicals, it really fucks with your body's hormones, including estrogen, and weird things can happen, like lactating. And so I watched this happening to my friend who was just going insane as these emotions and hormones were wreaking havoc on his body, and I begged him to stop. And eventually one of the things that I was proud of was that I eventually just refused. I stopped helping everyone, even my roommate. I refused to help any of them pin because I'd say, you guys don't understand what you're doing to your body. And the big thing that I disagreed with was every single one of them didn't want to pay for what's called your post cycle. After you do a cycle of steroids, you're supposed to do what's called a post cycle. And that's what helps to re-regulate your hormones, to get you back to no longer being on synthetic testosterone. And these guys would skip that. And suddenly their fucking back would turn into the hit the skit to the fucking pizza factory covered in acne. And they're just going crazy. Like I remember my roommate's problem was that he couldn't stop jacking off like 30 times a day. He'd just sit in his room and I'd hear him like crying. He'd be like, ah, dude.
So where's Kiki at?
Yeah, so when I made Kiki, when I made Kiki, I thought it would be funny if I made a character whose past was that she was a bodybuilder who took huge amounts of anabolic steroids to try to give her a competitive edge. And it led to her taking such a massive cycle of Tren that she crushed her competitor's head between her legs like a watermelon, and then had to basically flee from the area and take up the mantle of fashion to try to get away from the powerlifting world. And that was what was supposed to also account for the fact that I don't really sound like a 30-year-old lady, I don't think. And that was what I used to sort of explain that, because Kiki has a daughter. Like Kiki is all woman, but I had to come up with an explanation for the reason that she looks like Russell Crowe and also sounds like Darth Sidious. And I figured the explanation would be that she was some fucking psychopathic weightlifter who just poured every single resource she had into winning, and that meant taking these huge doses of steroids. And so the reason that I actually decided to make her was because when I was trying to get into the server to play GTA, I was initially going to make a Russian gangster, and the Russian gangster was going to be a guy named Yuri Strokemeoff. And I was waiting in TeamSpeak to get into the server, and they were like, "Oh, hey, Milton, what are you gonna make?" And I was like, "Oh, I was thinking of making a guy named Yuri Strokemeoff." And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go in there like, hello, hi, my name is Yuri Strokemeoff. I'm strong like bull, but smart like tractor." And then I realized, and then they're like, "Dude, there are 32 players online right now, and 29 of them are Russian gangsters." And I was like, "Oh, well, shit. I don't want to just do the same old thing." And then so we were sitting there, and someone said something like, "Oh, Milton, if you get into the server before I do, I'm gonna put my whole foot up your ass." And I was like, "Ew, sounds good. Count me in for a fun time." And they were like, "That's it. That's the voice. That's the character. You have to build a character around that." And I thought, oh shit, okay. And the character came together in about like 3 minutes in a TeamSpeak conversation. And then I fleshed out the rest of the background with the powerlifting and the trend. And then the magic happened. Took off from there. She took on a life of her own. I'm no longer in control. She's the one in control.
That was so.
There's the story. Now you know. Now everyone has an explanation for why Kiki is the way that she is.
I forgot where we were. I didn't know.
An RP character. You're like, why would you take it back to when I used to inject people with steroids?
So there I was, up to my elbow in my friend's ass, and sticking him with human growth hormone.
Oh my lord!
What is your life?
Extremely creative and unique. Unique is the word.
Trevor's like, where is Kiki?
We got there eventually.
Oh my god!
There eventually,
dude. When everyone was RPing, oh god. She's hilarious, man. You guys gotta check out old Kiki. You gotta go watch. You just gotta watch.
She's a blast, man. She's a blast.
I really want you to make an autobiography.
Holy shit!
Like an audiobook autobiography. That's what needs to happen. Holy hell! Because I laugh because it's easy, but I feel like it's sad in a way. But like I feel like the first in between you graduating from high school and like getting to streaming was just like a bunch of people telling you how to live your life. Yes. And you're like, okay, and then did it.
And then now you're just in full control. You know what I mean? You're the puppet master.
Holy hell!
That's the thing. I've been just saying yes sir, 3 bags full sir for so long that now that I'm in control, I'm like, I don't really know what to do, but I guess I'm gonna try this. Let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
that's where Kiki came from.
That's
where Kiki came from. If you were wondering, now you know. Guys.
Now you know where Kiki comes from.
I bet you didn't guess right.
Holy. No one guessed. I bet he used to shoot up steroids into his friend's butt in the military.
Gotta be it.
That's where she came from.
Gotta be it.
Holy hell.
We have a tradition here on the show where we play a game. And it's game time. This is going to be a very easy game. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
But it is going to be time-based where basically what's going to happen is I usually do one called initials where I give you 2 initials. Then I give you like phrases, hints up to 5. And then every time I give you a hint, you guys both have an opportunity to guess. So it works similarly to that, but it's called Name That Streamer. So basically, there's no initials. I'm just going to start listing things that are associated with this person. And as soon as you think you know it, yell it out. First one to get it right wins. But if you yell at the wrong thing, you're freaking out.
Got it.
For that, yes. So there's 7 streamers. Right. They're big. They're big on their platforms. They shouldn't be hard. Okay. Basically, it's gonna be who can do it the fastest.
Okay. Got it.
And you got to be under a rock. I mean, Jen would have a horrible time with this, but
I'm probably gonna be pretty bad, but that's okay. I'm excited, so let's do it.
Also, Paul doesn't win much, so
I was gonna say. I mean, let's be true. I'm getting intellectually matched up with Paul here, so I'm not too worried about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's an idiot. Both of you.
Oh, whoa,
Both
dude. Hey, man, listen now, okay? All right, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Some of these hints are going to be super obscure. Some of them are going to be literally telling you who it is. So
Just do the damn game, Trevor.
here we go. Streamer number 1. Associated with an animal that lives on ice.
Cream.
Incorrect.
That is correct. His
You're an
fucking
idiot.
thing is a Yeti. What are you talking about?
You didn't let me get to another thing. This is the danger of guessing right away, sir.
Oh,
You're
do we only
dumb.
have one guess?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I redact my guess. Go ahead.
No, you're out, dude. Q, you're out. You're
this
out.
is a bullshit game, man.
Hint 2.
Move
Hint
on.
2. Rip chair.
It's in the tent, man.
It's Tim the Tat Man.
Okay, you know what?
Kevin the Pang. Yeah, I know. It's a layup. It's Paul. You know, they grew up together. They know each other. They know
Wow, dude.
Hey, Milton. Hey,
Wow.
Milton.
Yeah.
Hydraulically suck my ass,
You know what? Why don't
Next
I put
question.
some steroids into it instead?
The other hints, just for conversation's sake, were ink, egg, and whips. I think we would have got it by whips,
dude.
probably.
Ooh, there you go. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And egg, probably. All right.
Oh,
Streamer number 2. Size 8. If you guessed it right, I'm gonna throw up.
I think I know it, but yeah.
Okay.
How to make calls on Tarkov.
Okay.
Okay.
Feet on fire.
Feet on fire? Okay.
Feel fun. Okay.
I'm not looking at you. I don't.
Instead of Logan Paul versus KSI, it's this person versus their monitor.
Summit 1G.
Ah! Milton, nice. Make calls on Tarkov, the Summit 1G phone, dude. Come on.
Wait, what'd you say?
How to make calls on Tarkov, the Summit 1G phone, dude.
Oh, how to make calls and target. Okay,
Get it? Get it? It's kind of obscure,
Yeah,
right?
I thought calls too. I thought it was like call out, like outside of the building.
Yeah, the tree. Oh, stupid. You're dumb, Trevor.
All right, 1-1.
All right.
Streamer 3.
Okay.
Ketchup on meat.
What? Oh.
Okay, we already did Tim, so I don't.
Okay.
Midwest legend.
Lupo.
It is Lupo.
There you
What?
go. Easy. Yeah.
The Pride of Omaha. Benjamin
Okay, all right.
Vivian Lupo.
Wait, Vivian, excuse me? What?
Can someone explain the ketchup on meat thing? This is lost on me.
People like ketchup on steaks. He's from Omaha. It's super offensive to him when he brings it up.
Oh, he seems like someone who
Ketchup on.
he seems like someone who would eat ketchup on steak. He seems like that. I'm not gonna lie. He's got that. He got that kind of
Tim's the one that
personality.
likes the well done steaks, which is just like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
There's only one kind of meat that I really know how to make, and it's hamburgers. But we're not gonna get into that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't have got that one. Hats off, Paul. You did good. That was
you go.
excellent. Good show.
The third
I
hint
don't
was
need your
flat
approval, you
Earth.
bitch. What's up?
The third hint was flat Earth because that's his thing too, evidently.
Really?
And
He believes in flat Earth?
no, he just tries to convince everyone that the Earth's flat, but he.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, it is. Okay. Okay. Never mind.
You've been there. Okay, and then knows how to snipe, obviously. Dr. Lee. Okay.
Perfect.
Number 4.
Okay.
Loves lions.
Courage JD.
Son of a bitch.
Not courage. It's not courage.
What? Correct! You come on! Okay.
Okay. Hint number 2. You still gotta get it, dude. You still gotta get it. You might not get it.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. Shut up.
Epic speed dial.
What?
Epic speed dial.
Ninja.
Ninja.
Oh, come on! Loves lions? Where does that part come in?
He likes the Detroit Lions. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, I too am a big fan of hockey, so fair enough.
Sometimes hyper and secure the bag were the next two.
Lick my chocolate starfish, Milton.
Damn it! Fine, I will.
Okay, number 5. It's 3-1. Pro.
Okay, that's
2.
worst.
I know that the first one was supposed to give it to you.
Clue.
2. Gone, then back.
Shroud.
It is Shroud.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh my
Third.
god. And then back.
Yep.
Aimbot fourth goatee question mark? Okay. 3-2. How to be. Number 6.
Okay.
Forehead. Okay, Gary. I guess we get it. Number 2, Gary. Number 3, aims with thumbs.
Nick Burks.
It's Nick Burks. I thought you would have it at forehead, dude. It's the most famous forehead on the platform.
Oh,
hell yeah.
For F word's sake.
You suck again.
All right. And the final one.
Yeah. Close. This is a close game.
This is all or nothing. This is all or nothing. This one's for all or nothing. Yep.
It's not. It's not.
It is. It is. I've decided. I've decided arbitrarily. I'm not asking for your permission. I'm informing you.
Hint 1. Beanie.
Co-Carnage.
Oh.
Hot dog. It's Korkar.
Hey.
Really? Every damn hustling. Then it's variety. And then drop frame. Those were the 4.
That's all right. I'll give it to you. I'll give you 4-3. Victory 4-3. Well done. Bravo.
Thank you.
Well done.
Clappers.
I hope the
You're
viewers and the listeners and stuff had fun trying to guess.
I hope they did. Let's be clear though. Milton's not giving me anything. I won that. You're not giving me
I'll allow
anything.
you to have it. Out of the goodness of my own heart, I'll allow you to have it.
You're a real son of a bitch.
Fair enough.
Incredible. Great game, Trevor. Nicely
done.
done.
Well
Good job,
done.
guys.
Bravo.
Playing my game.
GG's.
Jeez. He made that in the 5 minutes before we went live. Nicely done.
I 100% did.
Trevor's
I'm
very on top
tired.
of it.
All right.
Well, our last segment here is a little thing we like to call "Cool You Been Watching Lately." I don't know why we say it like that. I just started it just now.
I don't know.
But
I feel like hosting a show. We got to say stuff like that.
it's true. Yeah, we gotta be up on it. And it's a little side segment where you just like, put it up on the side monitor. You're doing your taxes, you're writing a letter to your representative, and then you got a stream on the left side, maybe the right side. I'm not going to judge which side it's on. It should be the left. Anyway, my pick for today is no one. I've been on vacation for a week, and I have not watched a single person.
Just say Milton T. Pike, but not with the 1.
Oh,
he's my
great.
favorite.
That motherfucker
Watch that guy.
stealing my name. Shit.
That's my
Oh, you
shout
want me
out,
to go
that guy.
first so you can make one up?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I've been watching a lot of Jordan Fisher. I mean, that guy
Oh,
can
dude.
steal a
Not
show.
only would you do that to me.
There are
Go
some.
ahead.
We
there
have
are
we have a format, and I wrote that for mine. And
I can see it. I'm stealing it. No, I'll go last. Go ahead.
okay. I'm gonna go with Jordan Fisher.
Oh, surprise pick.
Friend of the
I
pod,
wasn't-
Jordan Fisher, all around good guy. I was watching him play because I was also playing, but watching him play Fall Guys.
Yeah.
And it was just literally just he was having such a good time. It was genuinely wholesome. You know him and his sultry tones and his positivity.
Yeah.
His phenomenal enunciation of his words. and he was having a glass of wine. He kept standing up and was like, "Oh, I'm so happy and having a great time with you guys." I'm just like, I'm just smiling.
Good vibes, man.
He's just good vibes, and he's insane at singing and dancing,
Yeah.
and he knows Lin-Manuel Miranda, which is just crazy.
I saw that, dude.
Random as hell.
I just saw Hamilton like 2 weeks ago, and then a week later I saw him upload that video. No big deal of them just like sitting together and like just as buds. I couldn't believe it.
He was one of the main guys in the show. It's crazy. And he won Dancing with the Stars 25.
He was in Hamilton. Yeah, he was I think he was in off-Broadway of Hamilton, I believe.
No, he was in Broadway.
Was he?
Yes.
He wasn't in the main
played-
cast.
Not in the main cast. He was in the second cast.
Yeah.
And the one that's on TV is
that
the first
still-
cast.
Yeah.
So he
I
was
mean,
he
no
was
less
the captain after
outstanding. Yeah, of course. Amazing.
Anyway, he's amazing. He's amazing. Just check him out, man. It's a
I
great
I can't say enough good things about Jordan Fisher. Jordan Fisher is also someone that I had the good fortune to talk to at TwitchCon 2019, and genuinely just an unbelievable person. Just incredibly wholesome, super down to earth, super approachable. You have a conversation with him and you feel like you've known him forever. Like just an exemplary human being. I cannot say enough good things about Jordan Fisher. There are some people that you just know they're exactly where they should be in life, and he having the creative opportunities that he does is exactly where he should be. He is made for the kind of thing that he's doing. It's beautiful to see.
That's fantastic.
That was way better than what I said.
Yeah, dude, your shout out sucked compared to what Milton just said, dude.
Anyway, Jordan, we love you, dude. We love you. We think everyone should tune every piece of content you make. All right, Paul, do you have someone now?
I don't want to name anyone because Milton's just gonna outshine. Let me tell you about the time that I met him. Jeez. I have not been watching a single person. I completely disconnected all week.
Good for you.
And that's fine. Say I disconnected, and that's healthy.
You need to.
It's very healthy. Yep, it's very healthy. It was semi-forced because I have 1 bar of LTE, and so I don't really have an option. But I gotta be honest, it's freaking nice to just not care, you know? Yep. Like I've been playing Pokemon, just vibing out, I've been playing a Shield, Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's been amazing, you know? I getting to know my puppy a little bit better. Shout out to Obi. You know, he's a little shit sometimes, but he's a great little puppy. Shout out to my mom, you know, she's cool. Really just love all around.
Really good. Sounds good, man.
You know, don't bulldoze me, okay? I wasn't done. And now I'm done, dude. Hell yeah.
That was a good night. I appreciated that.
What do you got?
You know, man, so I gotta land on one name. It's gotta be one person, eh? Is that it? Is that how it works? I gotta just give you one.
You can do multiples if you want.
For me,
the list is hard, but if you want to get two,
for me, there's two that stand out at the moment. They're the ones that I regularly have up, no matter what I'm doing. Aside from that, the first one, I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, the Djibouti Show, or on Twitch they're just called Djibouti Show.
Okay, Djibouti Show.
So they actually were most well known on the interwebs at first for YouTube because they did Djibouti dubs. They would take like commercials and they would do like really silly dubs over, like talking over them. And it was really, really funny. I can't highly enough recommend them. They've got a really strong YouTube presence under the Djibouti dubs. But on Twitch, as Djibouti Show, they have like a variety broadcast and they stream 3 or 4 evenings during the week. And it is one of the most consistently positive, laid back, super funny streams you will ever go to. No matter what they are playing, it is one of the like most well-produced, chillest, coolest channels to be in, where it's usually 4 guys, Justin, Damon, Louis, and Pops, and they're all constantly interacting with chat. Every single one of them are so funny. Like all 4 of them are incredibly, incredibly funny, super wholesome, super, super entertaining. They play all kinds of different games, and they're also role players. I'd say they do like 90% variety to 10% role play, but they are phenomenal. I think that they are one of the absolute paragons of what content should be on Twitch because they're so positively engaged with their community. They do tons of community events. They have a couple of annual tournaments a year for things like Super Smash Bros, where they give money. They'll give like cash prizes for whoever in the community wins these tournaments. Super, super good guys. Really funny. Always you're guaranteed to have a good laugh and to just forget about the bullshit of the world. So that's amazing. One. And number 2 is a very good friend of mine and someone who I think personally has the singularly most rewatchable content on the entire platform in a ballpark of his own. I don't even think anyone else really comes close. Kitboga.
Kitboga.
Kitboga has one of the most innovative broadcasts I have ever watched. It's fascinating. Watching that guy go to work with scammers is like watching Picasso. Like, it's like seeing the amount of effort and seeing the refined science that he has to make scammers literally lose their mind, like rage to the point where they're no longer humans, they're just shrieking animals. And number two, his ability to keep them on the line for up to, I think his longest continuous phone call, like the longest that he had the same guy call him back and again, it was like 39 hours. Like, he'll have these guys on the phone for 6 hours at a time, and he'll have them continually call him back. And then at the end of 39 hours, they don't get anything. They don't get any money. They get absolutely nothing. And you hear their whole world collapsing as they realize they're never going to get a dime. And it's just fantastic because on top of that, he's incredibly wholesome. Like, he's a down to earth family man. He's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. He's incredibly selfless. He's a wonderful father. And I took him out to breakfast at TwitchCon last year as well. And once again, in person, he's the exact same sweetheart that you see on stream. He's an absolute, just fantastic human being. I feel very lucky to know. And you can just go to his channel and boot up any VOD from any point, and you will be entertained the entire way through. Yeah. You don't miss out by not watching it live. He has just such rewatchable content. Love him. Love the guy.
Hey, Kitboga, that's the 7th time you've been recommended. Can you come on the show, please? I think everyone needs to meet you. You're literally a quarter of the recommendation.
It's true. So, I think him and Jordan Fisher actually are. I think that's a
we've had Jordan
thing.
Holy hell. I already rode that ride. You know what I mean?
So, I'm gonna have Milton come on and read all my recommendations for me. Damn. Yeah, I'm like,
we have him every
like,
week.
This person's good. I like their stuff. Here's their Twitter. That's all I got. Holy hell! Outstanding. Well, yeah, thank you for those recommendations. Djibouti Show.
Yep.
And Kitboga.
Correct.
Outstanding. Milton, as we kind of wrap up here, we want to know what is next for you. I mean, other than, complete rebrand, what do you have next as far as like any special streams coming up or merch you're going to be dropping soon, anything like that you want to give a shout out to?
The big thing that I'd say is that finally I can happily announce that my YouTube is going to be a great place to go and find highlights, and it's going to be a great place to go and remember some of the favorite memories from the channel, because during the great DMCA scare of 2020, I deleted and downloaded 8,000 clips. And so I downloaded them according to view count. So I'm going to be taking like the most popular clips and putting them into compilations and putting them on YouTube. So
amazing.
I'm going to be the stream is going to be going as steady as possible. I try to do between 35 and 40 hours a week, and YouTube is going to be going strong. And then outside of that, I'm going to be starting my thesis for my master's degree in September. I actually just got the invoice for it today. And come March of next year, I will have a master's of science in environmental science, studying the temperature dependent sex determination in loggerhead sea turtles off the coast of Florida.
I got to be honest, when you do that and you hand in your thesis, are you going to like look to your boss and he's just going to shake your head and you're like, never mind, I'll rewrite it. Never mind.
I thought they were kind animals, but they actually are dead.
I'm actually thinking of doing the thing where I wear the nose and the glasses and the mustache, and I'm just going to pretend to be somebody else, just not make eye contact, put on an accent.
Dude, holy hell. That's amazing.
If I might ask, what do you guys have coming up? Just for my own greedy personal self-satisfaction, what do you guys have coming up in the next month, year, that type of thing?
Not working on a master's, I'll tell you that much. Damn. Jeez. I'm gonna paint my garage or something. I don't know. Like,
okay, all right. That's pretty good.
No, I for me, what do I got coming? I mean, I'm excited about making a fall line of merch. That's pretty exciting for me. I really want to make some custom fall stuff, maybe like a flannel type of deal. I don't know. That's very exciting. I've had a couple hosting gigs I've done, which I really love, and I'm looking forward to doing more hosting. So yeah, yeah, I got some stuff like that. I'm pretty pumped about.
That's
I
fantastic.
really feel like nothing I just said was close to a master's, so I feel like a piece of shit.
Listen, just keep this in mind. I'm getting a $25,000 master's degree to make fart jokes in GTA, okay? Just don't forget that. All right? So don't feel bad at all.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, Trevor.
So, yeah. What do I have coming up? I don't know. I'm going to be working really hard on YouTube over the next 6 weeks as the season commences to September 27th, and then into the playoffs that is God knows where, because we don't know at this moment. So, currently playing everything in my life by ear, like always. But I'm also working on some fall merch. I'm also trying to work on some stuff I can record, like some YouTube only content that was recorded on the road, so I can I don't need a really good internet connection. I can just record some good stuff offline, and then see how that goes. See if there's some stuff that you just won't see on stream, so you have to go to YouTube. That's interesting. Playing games that I don't usually play, setting stuff up like that. Those are kind of on the docket, and then into the off season, everything I just said will drastically change. So we'll check back in at episode 48 and see what we got going at that point.
Absolutely. If I could just make one recommendation.
Yes.
Make sure that you do some core exercises so that you strengthen your back for carrying everybody through the season. Because that's what you're going to be doing. God Gamer. Let's go. Let's go. Yep. That's the truth right there.
Core exercises.
Yep.
Yeah, couldn't help but notice none of those things were win a World Series. So I guess not go Twins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
None of those things were win a World Series.
Yeah, what I meant to say was buy me a ticket so I can come down and celebrate with you.
Doesn't care at all.
I would love one of World Series. Money. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for asking us that back. No one's ever done that. Look at that. Caring guest.
I know that you guys, I know that your audience probably knows a lot about you, but I want to know more because I appreciate both of you.
Yeah. Stop it.
Thank you.
I'm glad we got to work this out and get you on here, man.
So am I.
It was a good time. My God.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, if you guys want to have me back on sometime, the annual Milton review, I'm happy to. Anytime you guys want to hang out, I'm a DM away.
100%.
Love that.
As a reminder to our viewers and listeners of the pod, again, you have two ways of getting on it. You can either give a review on either the podcast, Apple Podcasts, or not on Spotify. I always do that. YouTube, any of the places you can give a review, we may read it, which I will here soon. Also, you can reply to the Twitter announcement of who's going to be on. So, hey, we're going to have Milton. You can ask him, like, I don't know, someone asked about, like, your freaking, wow. If we had more time, I just realized I really wanted you to tell the pod about that freaking story you told for college where you played like
Capture the Flag.
Capture the Flag. Oh my gosh, that story was outstanding.
Yeah.
I was enthralled. That'll be for next time. Capture the
I'll
Flag.
tell it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, don't forget those are the two ways you can get in the pod. This is our review of the week. It comes from Heck, who said, longest I've ever heard Jen on stream without screaming and saying, I'm deaf. Dead.
That's dead, dude.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Love the pod. Keep up the great work. Please leave a review. This is the kind of bottom of the barrel reviews we got to pull from for the pod right now.
I just thought it was funny because they were like, Jen.
Please, something. Okay. Thank you so much, Heck, for that outstanding, riveting review.
Thanks, Heck.
So good. Really appreciate it, Heck. Guys, also don't forget, sub to the YouTube. We're at like 1,300 subscribers, I think, right now. I think we're close to it.
Slowly.
So keep it going. We're getting there. We'll get a unique link there soon. So if you want to watch the pod and watch our reactions, you can go to youtube.com/a bunch of different letters and numbers to get to the May Contain Action podcast, because we don't have a link yet.
Search it up.
Search it out. You can also find May Contain Action podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at May Contain Pod. Don't forget, we're on all the major carriers: YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes, and Spotify. Again, please be sure to leave a 5-star review and be specific. Tell us what you loved, what you hated, but mainly what you loved. Before we go, Milton, please plug all of your places. Where can people find you?
absolutely. Best place to find me will be twitch.tv/MiltonTPike1. There's a 1 at the end because I'm an idiot. And on YouTube, you can also find me, MiltonTPike1. Twitter, same thing, MiltonTPike1. And on Instagram, just to mix things up, it's MiltonTPike. Left the 1 off for that. Nope. In fact,
not today, Instagram.
The true answer is that somebody took the name with the 1 in it, and it wasn't me. Anyways.
No way.
Yeah, actually. So, anyways, basically look me up, MiltonTPike1 anywhere, and you'll find me. And make sure if you guys are not already following Trevor and Paul on Twitch, you had better do it. And also never forget that with Twitch Prime, brought to you by Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. So do it. Spend it there. Spend your Twitch Prime on either of their channels, okay? Do it for me.
Absolutely outstanding. I couldn't think of a better bookend to the podcast than someone stealing your name on Instagram. So perfect. Yes,
guys,
as Milton said. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I really appreciate you having me here. And I just wanted to say thanks for having me. You guys are both beautiful. You are inspiring content creators. And, there's a lot about both of you that I look up to very much. So thanks for having me on.
Thanks, bro.
Oh, dang, shucks, dude.
Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
You can find my co-host Trevor at all the places. Go ahead, Trevor.
That is, I'm Trevor May on literally everything except Instagram, TrevMay65. Yes, that is my baseball number. Shut up.
Terrible number.
But I'm Trevor May on TikTok, Instagram, or not Instagram, actually. What the hell am I saying? YouTube, Twitter, freaking Twitch.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
That's great. OnlyFans. So honestly, 65 is a great number.
Right, not yet.
65 is a great number if you're, a defensive tackle or something. You can find me at Action Jackson on Twitch and Twitter. You can find me at Action Jackson, by the way, on Instagram. And you can find me at Action Jackson on YouTube. Pretty close brand consistency there. Real close. I had to work real hard for that. So I appreciate it if you give me a follow. So again, thank you to our guest, Milton. It was an absolute pleasure having you on this freaking podcast. We can end the season there. We can just end it. That's it. We don't really need anything else. I think we're done. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Next time.
Bye.
Night-night.
Oh, back on vacation.